Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Luke Pipala Show with Shad. First off, happy Martin Luther King Day, and what better way to celebrate Martin Luther King Day than inaugurating the first black president?
Yeah.
Hats off to that. Let's just round of applause for Donald Trump.
He's
The first,
convicted felon.
Yes.
He's been shot.
yes,
First black president.
has a #1 hit too.
He does have a #1
The
hit.
first black president. Wow. This is
Obama who?
Obama who? I don't know who Obama is.
No.
Barry, but we're gonna get into it here. What do you want to start off with? Because we have a lot of shit to.
I was gonna
get
say.
to.
I mean, we might as well just start with. We don't even have the slate pulled up.
I know. I'm so sorry.
We're slacking. We can do. Oh, this is the wrong slate.
I know.
Whoa.
Let me make sure we're still recording. All right, you could start us off here.
Absolutely. Easy. Watch yourself.
All right, we're recording. That's good.
Perfect. I'm not used to the sensitivity on your laptop. So basically, we're inaugurating the first black president tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, and so we're gonna start off with possibly, not confirmed, but the first 100 executive orders issued by Trump on Monday. We know already that we're supposed to start deportation on Tuesday. So basically, right after the inauguration, and there's just so much sketchy shit that I know you're not on TikTok really, but
Nobody's on TikTok.
nobody's
now.
on TikTok now. But I don't know if you've, and I meant to bring this up to add to the slate. Have you heard anything about the Ben and Jerry's TikTok page?
No.
So it was basically just like using it as code word. See if you can look it up because I meant to. Yeah, they're TikTok. So they were. Let me see here. They're just posting, and it's so shitty because we don't have fucking TikTok anymore. But they're just. It's almost like a code word for the inauguration and protesting and all this stuff, and then everybody is talking about wanting how to get through the protest, be as peaceful as possible, and then also talking about.
This is it.
Yeah. Be as peaceful as possible and then like douse your face cover in like oil or milk or something like for, chemical burns.
All right,
or
hold on.
whatever.
We'll play this.
Yeah.
Because I have not.
This
seen
isn't
this.
exactly, this isn't like the lady who was saying that, but yeah.
But this is on Ben and Jerry's TikTok.
Yes, this is our TikTok page. DEI saves lives. That lady's going places.
So we knew they were socialists already.
That's crazy.
But that's interesting that they're posting this to their
Their TikTok.
yeah.
Right. And so, I mean, it's basically just calling for, I think we're going to see a good amount of protests.
They said 50K people were expected to protest. Here's another video. This is a different one. This is in landscape. Look at this. I guess this was in DC on Saturday, but I'm not exactly sure. Look at all these angry fat bitches. Can we just look at one American flag?
Right.
It's
I mean,
good
I'm
to see
surprised
that.
that they're walking with one. At least there
yeah.
is one. At least it's not upside down or burning or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck these psychopaths
Well,
do.
TBD on that.
Well, yeah, it's not the
This
20th
was
yet.
early in the morning. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
But yeah, look at this, man. They all look the same. It's all the same people, just a bunch of fat bitches is what it is. But I mean,
Thinking that their rights are going to be taken away.
yeah, which you know what? We should take away the 19th.
Right. And I've had
We should repeal that. Let's be honest. And a lot of them, they're not even going to understand what that because they're so fucking stupid.
Right, exactly.
So
they have no idea what that is.
we should repeal the 19th, and I think there should be a serious discussion about that because not a lot of those people, and we're going to code it because they
Right.
don't. Once again, they don't know what it means.
Right.
Deserve to be able to do that.
Yeah. What do you think the outcome is on Monday? Do you think it's going to be completely peaceful? Do you think there's going to be something that happens that's just like, oh no?
I personally think it's going to be very peaceful because he has a bunch of corporate people on his side now. The Bezoses, the Zuckerbergs,
Right.
the what's the tech guy, Peter Thiels of the world, stuff like that. And so I personally, I don't know. I don't have I don't feel like that anymore because he's not an outsider now, which is not
Right.
good. You want him to be an outsider. You don't want him to side with all these corporations.
Right. And I mean, and that's the other issue too, is, I mean, we sat here and we, told you who we voted for, who we wanted to be president. Do we agree with every single thing that he's done up until this point? No. We talked about the Trump crypto, me and you.
Yeah, we'll talk about it now if you
And
want.
it doesn't sound exactly like the most great thing. The H-1B stuff, it's not exactly the most American first way, that we would go about it. Whatever. There's a lot to unpack with it. I still think I'm happier sitting here today than I would be if Kamala Harris was elected. But
Yeah, that's true. And Trump's very happy too because his net worth
well,
went
of
to
course
$6 billion.
of course he
I
is.
mean, look at this. So this is that you were just saying that Trump
Yeah.
coin, the meme coin, the shit coin. Yesterday, so this was on the 18th. So Saturday, this tweet happened, and it says right here, Trump coin was 18 cents yesterday, which was Friday, and now at 22.63. I think it got into the 40s.
Really?
But people are saying, yeah, while we were busy sleeping, some degenerate bought $1 million worth, and now he's up 125 million. Look at that.
Well,
And then-
I mean,
Portnoy too.
yeah, this
Dave Portnoy was talking about it. Was this the one you were talking about?
I was about to bring that up.
Well,
yeah.
he goes, here's a dumb question. I have a dumb question, a two-part question. What's the difference between the Hawk Tuah coin and the Trump coin besides nothing? 2, can I string up my own coin now and tell people it's a Ponzi scheme from the jump and I'm going to rug pull at some point and you better just hope you're out when I do it, and that would make the entire thing legal. It's very
And
interesting,
he's a
man.
Trump guy.
Yeah.
Portnoy was a Trump guy, and it doesn't seem like he's exactly accepting of the Trump coin.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are going to feel this way. And even on Republican Reddit, I was scrolling through conservative Reddit, and it's kind of all the same deal, where everybody's like, I hate that he did this. Why would he do this? It makes us look bad, and it does. It's
Right here, right? This is that official post. Not to cut you off,
No,
I
go
just
ahead.
wanted to clarify what you were saying. So this is from Trump. He goes, my new official meme is here. It's time to celebrate everything we stand for, winning. Join my very special Trump community. Get your Trump now. Go to Trump or gettrumpmemes.com. Have fun. CoffeeZilla, of course, who is like a professional of exposing celebrity
Right.
scams, because what the fuck is happening? He quoted that tweet and said right here, update, we finally saw the tokenomics of Trump 80% owned by one wallet. And that was that one guy that we were talking about, bought $1 million worth, and now he's up 125 million. I don't know, man. It's sketchy when any celebrity does this, regardless of your political affiliation. When any celebrity does this, it's really sketchy and
Right.
weird. Plus,
But you
he doesn't have to do it.
And you can even take this back to the first debate that he had against Hillary, when Hillary was coming at him for his taxes and all this stuff. And he just flat out said, it makes me smart. It's not, it's finding loopholes, the same loopholes that everybody that was associated with Hillary Clinton did the same thing. So at this rate, I mean, can you be mad at him? Is he just finding a loophole? Are you pissed that you don't have $125 million? That's the way to look at it. And at that rate, you hear about it, it doesn't affect you unless you dumped money into this crypto, which I still to this day don't understand crypto, and I don't think I ever will care to.
It's hard to.
Especially when you're using words like meme coin. What does that mean? I have a family to feed. Who is putting money into things that are fake? I don't.
A lot of people, actually.
Which is wild. It's wild. What is it? How do you make actual money off of it? Somebody explain it to me so I can create a meme coin.
Okay, so there's only like
Dogecoin, Bitcoin, Buttcoin.
There's maybe 4 or 5 legit cryptocurrencies.
But what does legit mean? What does it's not a fathomable? I can't hold a crypto in my hand. Correct?
What's been explained to me is that, well, technically you cannot. But what's been explained to me through the internet, I've been trying to understand it, is that the government can debank you. The government can take all of your whatever bank account you have. They could take that away.
Right.
Cryptocurrency is something that is decentralized, and so they
Okay.
can't fuck with it.
Okay.
If that makes sense. But
Yeah,
they're
it
trying
does.
to, but
Okay.
they can't fuck with it. And there's a finite amount, so you can't inflate the currency like we have.
Okay.
That's about as much as I can explain.
Right. Okay.
It's very interesting. The origins of Bitcoin are shady. There's a guy, nobody knows who it is, but he has like a Japanese name. Nobody knows who it is, though. You can mine it, but like I said, it's finite.
I still don't understand. And I can't imagine pitching that to my wife or my girlfriend or whoever.
Oh, don't. This is not something that women...
No. How do
No.
you pitch that to somebody? I know we have bills to pay.
They're
need to pay
rational.
for you're like,
Women are rational.
They
They
are.
wouldn't do this.
they are. I mean,
That's why we die earlier.
And that's why people lost a bunch of money in Hawk Tuah, and only men are upset.
Exactly. And speaking of being upset, okay, I want to continue on this Trump, this trend of talking about him being inaugurated
Yeah.
today. When you guys see this, this is something that really pissed me off because we knew all this, but the mainstream media told us this wasn't true. Listen to Mike Johnson, the current Speaker of the House, he is a shill for Israel. But listen to Mike Johnson, the current Speaker of the House, talk about what Joe Biden did when he was signing the executive orders that he did, which, by the way, he had the records. So listen to this.
I do stand by it, and I say this without any personal animus at all. I mean, in some ways, I actually kind of feel sorry for Joe Biden. I mean, he's in the twilight years of his life. He is not, obviously, has not been in charge for some time. And I know this by personal observation, and now the whole world knows it. And it's been very, very concerning to me over the last, year and a half since I've had this position.
Can you tell us a story when you say personal observation? What kind
well,
of
I
thing
mean,
did you see?
it's public now because the Wall Street Journal got it and put it on the front page. But January a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, I became Speaker in October 2023, and there were all sorts of big national security concerns and everything going on, and I started requesting a meeting with the President because, I'm kind of old school. I'm a constitutional law guy. Speaker of the House should be able to talk to the President, especially in times of great national interest and calamity. But they wouldn't let me meet with him, and his staff kept giving me excuses. This went on for like 8 or 9 weeks. I'm sorry, Mr. Speaker, he doesn't have time. What are you talking about? I'm second in line of the presidency. He has time. I need to talk to him. We had, I can't say the classified parts, but we had some big national concerns at the time that I was losing sleep over. Finally.
So like he's saying, okay, we're going to get to the big point, but like he's saying, okay, I didn't even know this. Trying to meet with the president for 8 or 9, 10
like
weeks.
Like he said, second in line for the president.
Second in line.
I mean, besides Kamala Harris, but like it's...
But second in line, like after her, like she's first in line.
Oh, yeah, second in line.
But isn't that crazy?
It really is. I mean, how you don't make time for the Speaker of the House for 9 weeks. And like he said, there's pressing matters that he's losing sleep over. That's just, but it goes.
Potential World War III.
I mean, Joe was maybe sleeping on a beach. Who
but
knows?
Listen, yeah, he was. He was on vacation for the majority. But listen to what he says here. This is interesting.
I just went to the Hill press corps and I said, the president is not being allowed to meet with the speaker. There's a problem. So they started putting pressure on him. Long story short, they finally relented. They invited me to the White House. I show up and I realize it's actually an ambush because it's not just me and the president. It's also Kamala Harris, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem, the CIA director, everybody. And then, so I
almost like they wanted to protect the president because he was cognitively impaired.
Right.
Walked in the Oval and, I know what this is. They're going to hotbox the speaker on Ukraine funding. That's what it was. This is probably third week of January. We sit down, we're in the midst of it, and the whole conversation, and I'm going, we don't need to have this conversation. The president reaches over just like this. We're sitting right next to the fireplace in the Oval, and he grabs my arm and he says, the speaker and I just need a couple minutes together. Would y'all just leave us alone? And I looked up on the faces of some of the staff standing around the wall, and they're like, oh, no, he did it. So he called it. He's the commander-in-chief. So everybody leaves, and he and I are standing awkwardly in the middle of the Oval Office, right over the rug by that coffee table. And I said, Mr. President, thanks for the moments. This is very important. I got some big national security things I need to talk to you about that I've heard, and I think you know, and what do we do? But first, real quickly, Mr. President, can I ask you a question? I cannot answer this from my constituents in Louisiana. Sir, why did you pause LNG exports to Europe? I don't understand, liquefied natural gas is in great demand by our allies. Why would you do that? Because you understand, we just talked about Ukraine. You understand you're fueling Vladimir Putin's war machine because they got to get their gas from him, And he looks at me stunned with this, and he said, I didn't do that. And I said, Mr. President, yes, you did. It was an executive order 3 weeks ago. And he goes, no, I didn't do that. And he's arguing with me. I said, Mr. President, respectfully, could I go out here and ask your secretary to print it out? We'll read it together. You definitely did that. And he goes, oh, you talk about natural gas. Yes, sir. He said, no, you misunderstand. He said, what I did is I signed this thing we're gonna conduct a study on the effects of LNG. I said, no, you're not, sir. You paused it. I know. I have the export terminals in my state. I talked to those people this morning. This is doing massive damage to our economy, national security. It occurred to me, Barry, he was not lying to me. He genuinely did not know what he had signed.
Okay, so a little bit long, and I apologize, but I wanted
important. The whole thing was important.
Yes, and we usually don't play videos that long, but I really wanted to drive home that point. Joe Biden was signing executive orders that he had no clue were whatever they were. He had no clue. The staffers and Kamala, all the people in the Democratic Party were pushing forth these executive orders, and like Speaker Johnson said, he had no clue.
Right. He had
That's crazy.
He had a protection wall around
That's
him the whole
crazy.
presidency.
That's crazy.
It is.
That is absolutely insane that we allowed that to happen for 4 years. They couldn't 25th Amendment him. They should have. I would have
my
rather
God.
had as much as we talk about Kamala, and thank God you're not going to be able to hear from her ever again. The Democratic Party is going to dump her after January 20th, which is today when you guys are watching this. But I much rather would have had her than Joe Biden.
I agree.
It's just so unfair to him that we did that to him as a nation. I just it pisses me off that they put him through that, because like Mike Johnson said, like we've all been saying for the past 2-3 years. He's in the twilight of his life. He's they're supposed to be the golden years, and you're
What's
just
the
ruining
last part
that.
you think he remembers? What do you think he remembers doing in this presidency?
Well, he certainly remembers beating Donald Trump.
I think that's a big one for him. I think that's a really big one for the Democratic side in general. Whether or not, it was a hoax or whatever.
He's the only one to ever do it, and
Yeah.
he deserves a lot of credit for that.
Absolutely. Well, the
Only
Democrats
one.
need to stop running women against him, and then they'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
Or not even women. Like there's competent women in the Democratic Party that I think could have really done.
They
some
just
damage.
found like the worst two women I think possible
Like
to
the
run against him.
The most shit that we talk about AOC. We talk a lot of shit about AOC. She has a couple of decent points, and she is a much stronger candidate than Kamala Harris or Hillary Clinton.
But do
by
you think
far.
AOC is more woke than Kamala? I think she might be more woke. And the woke agenda does not sit right with Americans, and that's what we told you in this last election.
Here's the
obviously.
thing, though. We saw Kamala Harris run to the center, and everybody was able to see, like, okay, she's fake. Like, AOC, I'm telling you, bro, I don't think she's going to run to the center. And AOC is a much stronger person than Kamala Harris. Hillary's a strong person, okay? But Kamala Harris was a very weak political candidate, a very weak person in general, had a lot of holes as a political candidate. AOC is a strong political candidate. Yes, her views may not be endorsed by the majority of America,
Right.
but she is a very, very strong political candidate from the Democratic Party, and they should not underestimate her.
No, I mean that makes sense. That does make sense.
That's
What
all.
else is on the slate, brother?
Dude, I'm heated over this.
Oh,
I'm heated. So we're talking about Joe Biden, and I wanted to talk about this too, and then we can move on to a couple other stories that are very, very interesting to say the least. But Joe Biden had a farewell address. Have you seen this?
parts.
Okay, well, I didn't watch any of it, so we're just going to play it for you.
Oh, actually, no, I did not.
But for this, Joe Biden, in part of his farewell address, which every president drops the mic in their own respective way, he talked about Elon Musk, and he talked about a new rising oligarchy, and he warned against it. So let's take a listen.
I want to warn the country of some things that give me great concern.
Dementia.
This is a dangerous concentration, and that's a dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a very few ultra-wealthy people. And the dangerous consequences if their abuse of power is left unchecked. Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy, our basic rights and freedoms, and a fair shot for everyone to get ahead. We see the consequences all across America, and we've seen it before. More than a century ago, but the American people stood up to the robber barons back then and busted the trusts. They didn't punish the wealthy. Just made the wealthy play by the rules everybody else had to. Workers want rights to earn their fair share. They were dealt into the deal, and it helped put us on a path to building the largest middle class, the most prosperous century any nation in the world has ever seen. And we've got to do that again. In the last 4 years, that is exactly what we've done. People should be able to make as much as they can,
How do you listen
but
to anything he says?
play by the same rules, pay their fair share of taxes.
So I would believe him, and I would be inclined to agree with everything he's saying. I think all of the criticism against Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos are
Right.
really good, and it's a good criticism. I enjoy that. I like that. It raises concern with me. But Joe, how much money did you get from Ukraine?
Exactly.
Sir?
Like
How much money did Hunter Biden get from Ukraine?
Exactly. What happened between this whole Hunter Biden thing? Why is he pardoned for a decade?
Right.
What is going on?
Right. So
I mean, and that's the problem with politics is no matter everybody's grimy and schemy and gross and disgusting, and the Bidens are no fucking better. I mean, they are no better.
I would really be inclined to agree with what he's saying and stand behind what he's saying, but knowing about all the corruption that's gone on,
Exactly.
I can't believe you, Joe. I would love to believe you. I would love to get behind this, but I can't. So Here's another clip from his farewell speech.
We need to get dark money. That's that hidden funding behind too many campaigns contributions.
Shut the fuck up once again. Shut the fuck up. How many millions of dollars did you take from Ukraine?
Right.
Burisma, your son. Are we going to talk about that? How much money did your son make from his paintings? Is he that good of a painter?
He's a
or is it
crackhead.
corruption? Is it corruption? Is it money laundering? Shut the fuck up about dark money,
Dude,
you old man.
How great was, like, all he would do is just fucking smoke crack, fuck prostitutes, and paint pictures with his
On
dick.
video!
And they would sell for
video!
millions.
Millions. An artist.
Oh my God.
Gosh.
He's a natural Van Gogh.
Yes, he is.
We need to get it out of our politics. We need to enact an 18-year time limit, time and term, for the strongest ethics reforms for our Supreme Court. We need to ban members of Congress from trading stock while they're in the Congress.
Cognizant.
Once again, I would be inclined to agree with that. Not about the Supreme Court, because the Democrats love to play games when they're not in power with the Supreme Court. But Joe, you've been in power in politics for over 50 years. You should not be the one to lecture us about, oh, we need to put term limits on Supreme Court justices and we need to ban congressional stock trading. Bitch, you have benefited from all of this.
Right.
All of this.
This is just the last protect the name before you go into hiding. Because the last person you're going to see at the DNC giving a speech is Joe Biden. He's done.
Oh, they wouldn't let him. They wouldn't let him there in 2020.
Well, right.
Or 2024. They wouldn't let him.
He's done.
We need to amend the Constitution to make clear that no president is immune from crimes that he or she commits while in office.
There's also an argument too that you're funding a genocide in Gaza, but that's something that I don't know enough about. I can't say it for sure, but it certainly looks like it. So I don't know.
The face though that you paused on.
Look at this. I know. That was intentional. Look at this face. Is this a face of somebody that knows what they're doing? You, the viewers in the audience.
It's like you read that from a fucking jumbotron or like a screen, and then just went, "Oh, wait a minute."
Well, the gun's pointed at him.
Yeah.
The gun's pointed at him right with the camera.
Yeah.
We're done with this fucking video. Oh, this makes me so mad.
Well, Mr. Biden, this is probably going to be the last time we talk about him on the show, Luke.
No, we'll talk about him again when he dies.
Well, yeah.
But like, this is the last politically relevant thing that he'll do.
It really is.
Maybe he does something at the inauguration because he made a deal with Trump. He had to have made a deal with Trump. There's no way he didn't make a deal with Trump.
Let's skip that TikTok first, and let's go with this article first because I haven't seen it.
Folks, have you heard of the Gooner?
I don't know what this is.
So they're calling this man the Gooner, and this is kind of a tragic situation, but it's also like a what the hell's going on situation. So here we go.
Is he an incel?
No, this man had a wife and a kid. So a despondent man fatally shot himself after he was caught with his pants down, literally, in his car at a coffee shop in Arizona, according to the police. The motorist, Nautica Malone, began his journey toward death last Wednesday when he pulled up to a drive-through line at Bikini Beans Coffee.
Wait a minute, I might have seen this clip.
Yep,
Hang on.
you're gonna see it.
I don't know.
In Tempe, Arizona.
Okay. Yeah.
And was approached by an employee who noticed he did not have pants on while taking his order, cops said. Police said the employee told her manager as Malone rolled up to the drive-thru window still naked from the waist down. The manager allegedly whipped out her cell phone as he whipped out his cock and recorded video of Malone, who was masturbating. What an uncomfortable word, by the way. It makes me uncomfortable when I hear that.
There's a lot of...
The video was subsequently uploaded to social media and it quickly spread online with millions of viewers commenting and accusing Malone of inappropriately touching himself in front of the manager. Malone then drove to the city of Goodyear, Arizona and shot himself in the head on January 11th, according to the Maricopa County Medical Examiner. Tempe police tell TMZ on the night of Malone's suicide, members of his family showed up at the coffee shop and were aggressive with the staff, stating that Malone had killed himself over the incident.
Well,
okay. All right.
I saw this video.
We reached out to the owner of Bikini Beans Coffee, Ben Lyles. We're going to pause this. who tells us our thoughts and prayers are with the family of the individual involved during this difficult time. This was an unfortunate and tragic situation. As a company, the safety of our employees is always top priority. In this case, an individual chose to commit a crime at one of our locations. We take incidents like this very seriously and remain committed to protecting our team and maintaining a safe and respectful environment.
I mean,
So here's the video of the gooner. This is what they're calling him.
gooner.
They're calling him the gooner, and it's not good to joke about this, and we're not joking about this because this happened. This is the gooner.
Hi, how are you? Good. Have you been here before?
Yeah.
Sir, you need to leave. Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
my favorite
Call
is that he
911.
just like, what? Oh, what? I can't have my cock out? Like, he was so... the gooner.
So that's the gooner. Yeah, it's tragic that I had an article loaded, but this tweet kind of summed it up. So
Yeah.
we're not gonna read the article, but yeah, man. So his name, what was his name again? His name was Nautica, which quite the eccentric name to begin with. It's
really
a great,
is.
it's a
It's a
great
good
brand.
name.
It's a great brand. I
Yeah,
love their.
it is.
I'm actually wearing Nautica Voyage
Are you?
right now. I love
Nice.
Nautica. But yeah, what do we think about Nautica? And this is tragic, by the way, as well, because he had a wife and he had a kid.
I mean, couple different things. You didn't see your cock wasn't out in the video. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't
Yeah.
have to blur or anything.
He could have been wearing
So,
panties.
he could have been wearing some. I don't know. Like, what makes you drive away and kill yourself after that? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what makes you kill yourself. You're just embarrassed, and the family has no right to run up into, whatever. He decided to commit a crime, and now we can't all feel bad because he killed himself now.
Yeah.
He elected to commit a crime and pull up Tug and Pud in a bikini coffee drive-through, and
I mean, the name itself in the coffee shop was already a little bit suggestive. There's no really suspicion why he came with his pants down.
there's obviously why he came with his pants down.
I mean, the
but-
name makes sense. I understand why you show up to a coffee shop with the word bikini in
Well,
it.
I apologize. Everybody knows.
I don't understand, actually.
Go ahead.
No, I just don't understand. I don't want to justify
you
this at all.
can't. You can't justify it because even though it's a bikini coffee place, whatever, you have to imagine that indecent exposure is still not requested at this coffee shop.
Not just not requested. I think it's not wanted at all.
Right.
This is like when
But
you have.
I would have loved if he would have just pulled off and hit the car in front of him because you saw how quick he
Yeah,
pulled
yeah,
out
it
of
was.
there.
Sir, unacceptable,
What?
unacceptable,
What?
unacceptable.
His face just dropped. Poor fucking idiot.
This is like when a dumbass guy sends a girl who's like unsuspecting
An
a
unsolicited
big dick pic,
yeah.
a big dick pic, or a small but unsolicited, not asked for at all.
No.
And you hear the girl the next day in school, oh, so and so sent me a dick. No.
Front-facing camera.
Yeah,
faces
just the
in.
worst possible
Yeah.
angle. Fellas, they don't want that.
No,
they don't want that at
They
all.
don't. Not unless you're married. or close to married.
Especially if it's like unwanted. You weren't even talking about
Right,
it.
like that's. I've heard stories about just immediately straight from adding on Snapchat, just firing off pics. It's wild.
Some guys. We had a guy.
Oh God.
In high school who he had a tape leaked. It was just him in a sock,
Oh
and
no.
he put it on RedTube.
Oh no.
He was a band kid.
no.
Big afro, looking like Arthur, the anteater from the cartoon Arthur. You
Yeah,
remember
I know who
Arthur?
that
Yeah,
is.
he just like him.
Oh.
God bless him. I forget the guy's name. I wouldn't say it here.
So what? He had an underage video on RedTube, or he did it after school?
Well, it wasn't in school, but he was a junior when I was a sophomore, I think. But yeah, he posted a video on RedTube, and somehow people found it, and it was pretty. He didn't have his face in there, but I think he was talking. You could kind of identify it. It went around the school
Was it
like
nice?
wildfire. Oh, it was crazy, dude. Because he like, ugh.
Did he have a hammer?
No. Like everybody, the men and the boys and the girls in the school were all disgusted. We were like, no way. No way. Because it was like, and it's slowly.
Oh no.
I could have watched the whole thing. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
It was something
no.
that went around like the football group chats and the basketball
Well,
group
that was
chats.
like in our school. Some dude was brand new to school, and he sent a video of himself just beating off vigorously, accidentally to the football to the football group message, and that was before you could delete Snapchats.
Oh.
So then you have to wait for everybody to open it up.
Oh, that sucks. I'm not gonna say that. We'll say it off camera. But
Yep,
anyway.
all right.
Anyway, yeah, man. Bill
Just
Gates.
ceasefire.
Bill Gates. Bill Gates. Like I said, I put the ceasefire thing in there, but I don't feel like I'm qualified enough to talk about it yet. I don't know enough. And if I'm going to take a stand like that, I want to be like 100% prepared.
I understand.
But it's there nevertheless. So Bill Gates, we know Bill Gates. Bill Gates is one of these people that Joe Biden maybe was warning against in terms of forming an oligarchy in this country. But Bill Gates,
Even though he bought up all the farmland under
Yeah.
the Biden administration.
the father of the American vaccine, listen to what he says about Donald Trump and how he's optimistic about Donald Trump's presidency. A little weird, a little skeptical, if you ask me. Here we go.
Yeah, I had a chance to go have a long and actually quite intriguing dinner with him.
What did you discuss? What was intriguing?
Well, we touched on a lot of things. It was over 3 hours. To my surprise, it was, just he and I, his chief of staff, Susie Wiles, and the person who helps manage things for me, Larry Cohen. So the four of us sat there, and it was quite wide-ranging. Global health's the area that I work in, and such amazing things have happened and can happen there. I spoke a lot about HIV and that the foundation's literally working
He has it, so there's that. There's that.
on a cure for that. We're at an early stage, and so he, in the COVID days, accelerated the vaccine innovation. So I, was asking him if maybe the same kind of thing could be done here, and we both got, I think, pretty excited about that. We talked about polio.
This is somebody that's putting vaccines in mosquitoes and they're biting people in Africa, and that's
Right.
how they're getting the malaria vaccine against their will. This is not something good. We're almost done with this video, and then we can react.
Where we're very close to getting that done, but if you stop, it'll spread back. And so I explained why it's been tough in Pakistan, Afghanistan. We've had cases show up in Gaza. We have cases in Africa, and he was fascinated to hear what he could do to maximize the chance that during the next 4 years that incredible milestone will be achieved. I felt like he was, energized and, looking forward to helping to drive innovation. I was frankly impressed with how well he showed a lot of interest in the issues I brought up.
Look at the face of this man. This man is an evil man. Let's not forget. This man is an evil man. Folks, Bill Gates. Do you know what Bill Gates wants you to eat? Bugs! Bugs! Look at this. This is the face of a man who wants everybody in America to eat bugs. That's it. That's it. How much farmland has Bill Gates bought up?
All of it.
He'll tell you it's like 1%.
Yeah.
He'll tell you it's 1%, but it's not a lot. Bill Gates allying with Trump is not something that I had on my bingo card in 2025, but I'm certainly not excited for it. This is an evil man. Ask his wife about his ties to Epstein.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Ask his wife. They're divorced.
I think there's a lot. I think we're going to see a lot of, like you said, these big these big names all now coming to the aid of Trump. Oh, I have high hopes. I don't think things will be that bad. Why? All because of the fact that they don't want the repercussions of Trump in office with them talking about him.
Is he going to meet with George Soros next? Is George Soros going to come out with a thing? Oh, Donald Trump is because he's German.
Yeah.
He's a Nazi. It's just so crazy. I hate that all of these big corporate people now are allying with Trump. Like, I don't feel good about Zuckerberg allying with Trump. I don't feel good about Bezos, Bill Gates allying with
neither
Trump.
do I.
Elon, to an extent, Elon was always on the fringe. He was always not afraid to speak his mind.
Yeah.
Big free speech guy. But even now with the H-1B stuff, I'm
Scares me.
not a fan.
Scares me.
I don't like how corporate and mainstream that Donald Trump has got. I really thought it was great when he was more or less like a fringe person.
Right.
He was voted in by the average American middle class worker who their job got shipped overseas, and as a result, they want somebody who's going to fight for them and bring stuff back, bring
Which
jobs back.
he still was voted in by those people. He was still voted in by those same people. He is just now bringing with him.
All of Silicon Valley.
Yes.
I don't like that. I don't like that. So this is concerning to me because he's the guy. Bill Gates is the guy that pushed all of the COVID vaccines and then immediately sold all his stock,
Right.
all his shares when it was at its peak.
Right. You want to talk shit about the Trump coin?
Yeah.
Let's really start diving into COVID and see when everybody started dumping shares of.
As soon as he dumped everything and sold everything at its peak, it tanked, and then he was
Right.
talking shit about all the vaccines.
Right. What are you going to do, Luke? What are you going to do? This world's fucked up.
It is fucked up.
This world's fucked up, and you really can't trust anybody, man.
You can't, and people will call us grifters, and that's fine. We're not grifters. I
No.
promise you, we're not grifters. We were just saying before, like, we wish Trump was how he was. I really don't like all the corporatism of the
Right.
Republican Party right now.
Right.
Oh well, it is what it is.
Have you? I just see the last one, and I would like for you to look up because we have another one of these
Okay.
lovely OnlyFans ladies. So just go hell. Go ahead.
Go hell.
Yeah, go to hell.
Well, they're going to
and
hell.
look up. I think her name is Bonnie Blue.
Oh, I know Bonnie Blue.
Let's talk about Bonnie.
Bonnie Blue. Which one do you want to?
Well, I mean,
Oh, there's an account that says Bonnie
Yeah.
Blue leaked. We're not gonna.
look at those people in line. Bonnie Blue had sex with 1,057 men. 1,057 men.
Was that real?
I don't know.
Was that real?
I don't know because each guy, if you wanted, she said she did it in 12 hours. That's
Look at all these
20
men, by the way, who are not British European, but they're in the UK. Look at that. Look at all these men lining
dude.
up
It's
for miles.
disgusting.
Let me look that up real quick. Bonnie Blue 1000, and I really hope that we don't have porn that comes up because that would
It's
that
probably gonna be the first thing
that would not
pops up.
work. Oh yeah, we're just gonna delete that. That just, well, folks, that was porn. But yeah, Bonnie Blue and the whole what would you call it?
Dude, what is that for?
I don't understand why it's happening, and I don't even know why they're doing it. Besides, like, free publicity, but like at a certain point, if you're gonna have sex with 1,000 men in 24 hours, I know we were talking about Lily Phillips, or I think we were.
Yeah,
we
we
talked
were.
about Lily Phillips, 100 men in 24 hours a couple weeks ago, and how like she's going around now, and she's doing this thing where she's walking around with a bunch of jizz on her
I
face
saw it. Yeah.
in public. It's like, oh, do you think anybody would know?
Yeah. I do my cum walk. I do my cum walk.
Like,
yeah.
at some point, why are you doing it? Like, I get just to be outlandish and just to be shocking, but like at a certain, where do you go from here?
Luke,
That's my question.
I mean, I don't know, Luke.
Where do you go from here? I'm
this-
trying not
this
to
whole-
sound like one of those right wing, like the fringe
Right,
right wing, like
right.
condemning, saying, "Oh, these women are low value." But like realistically, like, where do you go? Where do you go?
You continue to look the way that you do up
it's
until
fleeting.
you're probably 30,
30?
30,
Would say
30.
30?
You 100% have to have somebody in your finances. If you have somebody, and I wonder if that's why all these people, and you see it with Lily Phillips and you see it with Bonnie Blue, their parents are a part of the production team, whether that's booking or the money person, and it's disgusting.
Here's what I think. Do you think those are really their parents, or do you think they're paid actors?
I don't know
I
because
think they
I've
could be
never
paid
never
actors.
seen the parents. I've never seen the parents like of Bonnie Blue or Lily Phillips or anything like that. I think I've been struggling this weekend, truly, Luke, with the meaning of life, I guess.
Oh boy!
And I texted you that, and trying to figure out, what is this world that we live on, and what is afterwards, or
Are we
or
gonna go
whatever.
down the rabbit hole?
I don't know that we need to, because
Can we?
I'll have a major panic attack. But
We got like 20, 25
I know,
minutes, whatever
and
you
we're
wanna
out of
do.
the slate, so
Whatever you want to do. I mean, we don't have to talk about TikTok.
but I more or less. Oh yeah, we do.
Do you want to?
Yeah, we have to. It's fresh news.
All
but
right.
anyways, like if there is a God and there is the afterlife, that I don't know. Like, I guess I've been having a hard time in the sense of, like, we functionally know what is going on in this life because our brainwaves are, everything is personal. Everything that I've gone through for 20 some years and everything you've gone through 20 some years, we've shared nights together, not that way, but I mean, we have different experiences and whatnot, and so we are all different. So who is to say that whatever happens once you die and it clicks off, it all goes black? We can't fathom what that is. Now, if you are okay, you can't.
No, I said we can't. We can't.
You're right.
I
you're
agree.
right,
We
right,
can't.
Right. You can't fathom what that is. Now, if there is a heaven, and you are somebody like Bonnie Blue,
Way to weave it back.
and you are somebody like Bonnie Blue coming up to the pearly gates.
Coming or like going?
Well, she's leaving probably. She's getting turned around and kicked down. Like that's, I guess, what is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of life between you and I, and we want different things, versus somebody who, I mean, at some point, Luke, it's just, I hate to be the guy that says, oh, it's a mental disease, it's whatever, but there's something physically wrong with you if you want to sleep. I love women. I love women. I hate women all at the same time. I could not imagine meeting 1,000 of them at one time.
Yeah.
But that also just goes to show that there's a huge disconnect between men and women. Because I heard people were showing up to that Bonnie Blue event looking for their fathers and their fucking husbands because they'd just be in line waiting. Yeah. Imagine being caught doing that. I'd kill myself if I fucked Bonnie Blue. I would have a better chance of surviving my dick out at a bikini coffee shop than fucking Bonnie Blue.
Well, it's like if you put yourself in their shoes of these OnlyFans creators, and it's like you're having sex on camera and you're getting absolutely railed by a bunch of guys like Bonnie Blue in the span of 24 hours.
And it's a lot of guys at once. Like you're doing like
you're pimping yourself out and you're getting gangbanged. My question is, okay, say you got, however, you can have all the money in the world, but like even once you get to like maybe, I don't know, 100 million, okay, 200 million. In my mind, when you do that, like what's next? Like in life, for example, you see the Bezoses of the world, the Musks of the world. They're still driving innovation, right? You see all the stuff that Elon Musk is doing. Jeff Bezos wants to go to space as well. And it's just like when you're an OnlyFans creator and you pimp yourself out on video, like when you do that, when you do 100, because I don't think she did 1,000 in 24 hours.
I don't think
she
it's
may
possible.
have.
I don't think it's possible.
But if you do 124 hours, like what's next? You know what I mean? Because in life, we're always striving for goals and we're trying to meet. When you do that and when you have all the money, like what's next? I feel like that's a bunch of unhappiness in my opinion.
It is. And I think, I hate to say it, but I think that there is a spike in the percentage chance that there is a suicide. I don't know if I could say that on YouTube.
We'll find out.
But we see a lot of that with girls inside of the porn industry is a lot of self-harm, you know, and this is also a form of self-harm. I don't think that there's anything healthy about, even if she was to sleep with 1,000 men, I don't care if they are all wearing condoms or doing whatever. Men are disgusting, bro. Yeah. Walk through a Walmart and then you walk through a fucking Walmart.
I mean, she had a Walmart walk through her.
Exactly. But like walk through a Walmart and say, yeah, any of you 1,000 people in here that want to have sex with me, go ahead. Bro, like you're just posting that online. The grossest fucking humans are going to show up. Ones that have diseases, ones that have, I mean, it's disgusting.
You saw that picture. They're all Indian.
Right.
None of them showered, probably.
They're all here on H-1B visas.
A bunch of Vivek Ramaswamis that just haven't showered. So that's interesting. Bonnie Blue, Lily, God bless you. I hope you find Christ. I hope you find God, but I don't know.
She's not going to find a husband, that's for sure.
Maybe. You never know.
There are some down bad motherfuckers in the comments, though.
It's just... it's fleeting. I don't know where you go after a certain point if you're an OnlyFans creator like that. That's all.
Simply think that you...
Where do you go, though? If you pimp yourself out for however long, like, and you have all the money, my question is what's next?
I mean, I think you run the risk of your diseases, the ones that will terminally affect your life and fuck you up for the rest of your life, possibly even kill you.
But like
then I understand what you're saying. After a while, the money is fleeting.
I can't comprehend it.
People are not going to give a fuck about Bonnie Blue, you know, in 5 years.
But like,
you get all your money now, but you have the rest of your life with struggling to find a partner. And then I wouldn't want to have kids. I wouldn't want my kids to be able to see their mother.
Here's the thing, though. Okay. Put yourself in the shoes of Bonnie Blue.
Okay.
Say she says, I don't want to have kids, and she truly doesn't want to have kids and just wants to live a single life. Okay, whatever. Like, what do you strive to, though, after that when you have all the money? I just cannot think of it.
2,000 dudes?
No, but like, wow. But like when you've already got all of the dick and all of the money. Like, you have everything.
Yeah.
You have literally you can do anything. You have financial freedom, everything. You have hundreds of millions of dollars. I cannot fathom what you do, which is why I think it's so fascinating that Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos continue to go and just continue to go harder and harder. But once again, they have a purpose. They're driving towards something.
Right,
They want to make the world better. I don't know what she wants to.
She
It's just
wants
crazy.
to. I mean, you could set the stage right here and now. She's gonna have all the money in the world. She could buy a boat. She could do whatever she wants. She never has to work again in her life. But she's gonna have a lonely, lonely life. I mean, there's only so many people that are gonna want to have sex with her after a while, and then it's just gonna be sad videos of her doing whatever to herself because nobody wants to touch her. And then you're just gonna be alone. It's going to be a sad, lonely, lonely life unless you find some retard who wants to wife you up.
Who's Indian?
Yeah. Oh my God. 100%. He's not going to be American. 100% a foreigner. 100% a foreigner.
We're not talking about the Native American, the good Native American people.
No, like
We're talking about the other
probably like an
Indians.
uncircumcised Indian man is what she's going to end up with. It's true.
I'm not even trying to condemn her though. Like, I physically cannot.
Why not?
I'm
Why
not?
not?
I'm
Do
not.
you-
But I'm not even trying to condemn her though. Obviously, I think it's wrong. I think it's immoral, and I
Right,
think she's
okay.
going to hell, whatever. But like, I'm not even trying to physically. I cannot fathom being in that mindset and thinking, okay, I'm just gonna do this, and like, but I just don't understand what happens.
Because you're
after
living,
that.
you're living in the now, and I don't think even she understands what happens down the road. Because it's not like you're a Hollywood actor. It's not
Yeah.
like you're gonna get cast in movies now after this. It's not like you have any way forward. You don't have a new way forward. You only have the right now,
I know.
and the mistakes or the decisions that you make right now.
It's not good. And to cap this topic off, I would just like to say, folks, for the young men in the comments watching, definitely steer clear of liberal women. Steer clear of women on the left. You got to go for somebody that has no clue what politics are, or they're independent, or they're Republican or conservative. Do not go for a liberal woman. Don't go for a liberal white woman. You got to go for somebody that has religion as some part of their life, a center of their life, somebody who has morals. You have to.
Right.
You have to. You can't go for the girl that's going to pimp herself out. And I heard Ben Shapiro talk about this too, oddly enough, and I don't listen to Ben Shapiro much anymore for obvious reasons. He's a shill. But when it comes to life advice, he's really good. He said you have to, when you're going to select a wife, you have to already have the mindset that you want to get married. When that happens, blinders will be off and you will
Right.
have the filter on.
Okay.
And so you'll be able to justify, like, okay,
Is this a wife?
yeah, exactly. And then you could go forward. But that's all I'll say. TikTok's banned.
Oh.
They banned. Speaking of white women, TikTok is banned. And you want to see what happens? So approximately noon last night, me and my
Noon.
fiance were talking about this. She actually got the notification at 10:30.
That was about the time I got the notification as well.
Yeah, around 10:30. So TikTok right now in America as of Sunday, January 19th, has shut down. And a lot of people are up in arms. We'll talk about the different influencers that are up in arms. But right here, so here's the message that everybody sees on TikTok when you go right now. So we regret that a U.S. law banning TikTok will take effect January 19th and force us to make our services temporarily unavailable. We're working to restore our service in the U.S. as soon as possible, and we appreciate your support. Please stay tuned. They also got rid of CapCut, which
Yeah.
pissed me the fuck off because I use CapCut to edit all this shit, from the podcast to the clips to the shorts, everything. And so now that they took it away because ByteDance owns CapCut and they also own TikTok, it's very frustrating, man. Very frustrating. And so we have a couple of influencers who are explaining this and reacting to it. You know who James Charles is, don't you, sister? Hi, sister.
Yeah,
the makeup
I know
guy.
James Charles.
James Charles, the makeup guy. A little bit obnoxious for my taste, but here's what he says about the ban.
I gotta keep it real. I am crashing the fuck out right now. I don't know what to do. Oh my god. I've already opened and closed the app probably 6 times already just to keep getting the same stupid warning message. Oh my god. Like, this just this is so dystopian. First of all, I feel pathetic that I am freaking out like this over
Just
an
call yourself
application being unavailable on my phone. But also, like, this has been a massive part of our life for the last 6 years. And normally when something happens, I would get on TikTok and start complaining, and I can't even do that. I feel like disconnected. I feel cut off from the world and my community. This is crazy. This is fucking crazy. God, and I can't, like, now I'm rooting for Trump? Ew! God, make America fucking great again, I guess. God.
That was funny.
So normally I wouldn't be James. It is what it is. But so that's interesting. That's James Charles' opinion of.
Now I'm rooting for Trump.
Now I'm rooting for Trump. Yeah, what are the odds? So he has an opportunity to do something very fascinating. Trump does.
This is bigger than Vine.
Oh,
this shutting down is bigger than.
Yes.
This is huge.
But this is what Rand Paul has to say about the ban.
I do believe that banning a social media app like TikTok is a violation of the First Amendment. I haven't had a chance to read the ruling yet, but very disappointed. 170 million Americans express themselves on TikTok on a daily basis, and it's just wrong for the government to ban it. Most of the reasons the government banned it were based on accusations, not proof. I've never been tried and found guilty of sharing information with a communist government or any of that. They've actually offered, through our Foreign Investment Committee that oversees foreign investments, they've offered to have the data here. They've offered to work with Oracle to house the data in the United States. They've offered to have an American board. In fact, it's misreported that it's a Chinese company to begin with. It's owned, 60% of the company is owned by international investors. But disappointing. I don't think the battle's over yet, though. I'm hopeful that President Trump, in coming in, can have some ability. It sounds like Biden left the door open, perhaps, for some executive action from President Trump, and I hope that's what will happen.
I think this is a layup for Trump to get in the good graces of all of the white liberal women like we talked about. Start deportations on Tuesday, but bring back TikTok. So everybody is happy. Deportations start Tuesday. TikTok back up as soon as deports start going. As soon as the first one hits the road, TikTok's back open.
But now, why did they do it? Because Rand Paul, one of the few good politicians in this country, said that all of these claims are unfounded.
Right.
There's no proof that China was sharing our data with the CCP. Well, folks, it's Israel. That's why.
Yep.
Because Israel is arguably committing genocide in Gaza.
No.
Arguably.
No.
So this TikTok sums it up. Ironically, this is a TikTok explaining, but this TikTok explains why they're really trying to ban TikTok.
Just a reminder for those of you who never cared, the TikTok ban is because of Israel. Louder for the people in the back. The TikTok ban is because of Israel. This all started escalating when that AIPAC member, Jonathan Greenblatt or whatever, made a voice note that got leaked that said, "We have a TikTok problem." They were afraid that people were waking up and sharing their opinions and the facts about what was happening in Is Not Real in Palestine on this app, and they're like, shit, we need to control this. We need to get this app out of their hands because they are figuring out that we are the problem. We as in Is Not Real. So if you guys want to be mad at anybody, be mad at Is Not Real, because we've been mad for a very long time about what they're doing to the people in Palestine. But if this is what it takes for you guys to care, I mean...
Interesting.
There's one more.
Okay.
So, but why are they banning TikTok, right? So she's saying it's because of Israel and what they're doing in Gaza.
Right.
But I haven't showed everybody why they're doing this, okay? And I don't have a video saved, ironically, which is funny. But real quick, we'll talk about Trump and then we'll talk about why. So right here, Trump is saying his first tweet of Sunday, which is when we're recording this right here, save TikTok right here. And why does he want to save TikTok? It's because he's big on TikTok. That's probably the only reason why.
Trump loves TikTok.
He does love TikTok because he's big on it, though.
Yeah.
If he wasn't big on it, I don't know if he
He'd
would
say,
want to save it.
I don't care.
But here's the thing, okay? So Trump has an opportunity here to really gain favorability with the like he could have the highest approval rating in presidential history if he gets it back. But why are they banning it? We watched that video, we watched Rand Paul, but the fact is now there's a group of Americans, what do you say the biggest generational group is on TikTok? Probably our age, right?
Yeah.
Anywhere from like
I mean, everybody's on it.
Everybody's on, okay, but majority, it's dominated by young kids.
Yeah.
And so now, more than ever, we're seeing videos of war in Ukraine and also war in Gaza, right? Israel and Palestine. And so kids are waking up and seeing dead babies, burnt. Crazy.
Yeah.
I see this almost every day. I see a burnt kid, a burnt child, a dead baby, a baby who is charred, all of their skin burnt off because of what's happening in Gaza.
On TikTok, you're seeing that?
On TikTok,
you built your
on
own
X.
algorithm because
Dude,
mine's...
I see buildings that are crushed. I see all of this stuff.
Wow.
Missiles going off, bombs, everything. These people who are innocent, the civilians. Okay, not Hamas. We all agree Hamas is bad.
Right.
But the civilians covered in ash, and their kids are dead. There's videos of these kids dead, and it doesn't seem like anybody cares. And it's just crazy because before this, I was thinking, oh, Israel, we have to support Israel, whatever.
Yeah.
But then you start to see the videos, you start to get the information. This is the first time in modern American history where we've seen the tragedy of war
That's what I was
shared
about to say.
to every single person. And so what was happening was people were starting an uprising and saying, hold on, is Israel really our ally? And then you have the information about the USS Liberty and all of the shady things that Israel has done in the past to America, and how they probably were the reason that we got into the Middle East for all those wars, Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria,
Right.
etc. And it's like, hold on. Now you have people that are starting to form a different opinion about Israel than contrary to what has been in the past when it comes to America. And so that's why they're shutting it down, because Israel runs our government and they control every single thing that we do. They control our politicians, majority of our politicians. They control the corporations. They control everything. And so that's why this is happening. The whole China thing is just a smokescreen. It's just bullshit. But they don't want us to see what it's actually happening. It's tragic, dude.
I don't think I could have said anything better myself.
It just makes me so mad. I hate seeing this. I hate that it's happening. That's all. And by the way, if this was happening when we were in Afghanistan, when we were in Iraq, dude, public opinion would have flipped. Would have flipped instantly.
Agreed.
It took a couple years for the public in America to kind of go against what we were doing. But if this would have been around back then, it wouldn't have happened. It's just tragic. And I hate that our government is allowing this to happen. And we're funding this war.
That's, I think, the most sickening thing is, like you said, the funding of it. And I mean, we've, for the first time, seen what war looks like play out on social media.
Yeah.
And I think that is detrimental to us as a society. And it used to be, your grandparents or whoever, they just bring back these stories. They don't bring back TikToks and videos that they took on their phone of all this shit. I mean, you can go down 15-minute Twitter threads of just war and crime and dead bodies. And I mean, it's disgusting, Luke. It's disgusting. But
I am encouraged, though. I am encouraged because Trump, he was talking about wanting to get the ceasefire going and saying, like, I forget who reported on this. It was the Wall Street Journal, I think. Maybe it was the Washington Post, but they reported on his quote, and they said that he was calling out both Hamas and Israel.
Okay.
So I don't know, but here's the thing. The ceasefire started today on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I don't know much about it, so I'm trying to talk about only the stuff that I know about.
Right.
They started the ceasefire on Sunday. They were talking about it. They came to an agreement, I believe, on Friday. And then on Saturday, they massacred like 113 people. Well,
didn't they postpone the ceasefire deal? And then I think they just wanted to get a little bit out of their system. I think that's what that was.
It's so dumb.
It really is.
Why? I mean,
unnecessary bloodshed.
I get. Okay, October 7th was awful.
Right.
I understand that. I get you want to eliminate Hamas, but do you have to kill dead babies? Do you have to kill babies? Do you have to?
Right.
And I hate how Ben Shapiro talks about the Palestinian people because again, I don't know a lot of the history, but. Are they all animals? You say they're all animals. Are they all animals? I just don't think
I think
that's
everybody is animalistic in their own right. I mean, right?
But to actively call for the death of all of these people and completely eradicate it,
right?
It's just crazy to me.
It's disgusting, Luke. But another great episode of the Luke Pipala Show.
A great episode. A great episode. Happy Martin Luther King Day to all the blacks. I think it's important that we
happy inauguration day for all of the whites.
Yes, but to the blacks too. A lot of black people voted for Trump.
Yes, they did.
Since he's the first black president. But Shide, it's been an honor. It's been great to have you back.
It's been nice to be here again.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go get some Ben and Jerry's and then drive through a bikini coffee shop. Have myself a day.
Just don't kill yourself after.
Jury will still be out on that one.
Yes, and we are not advocating for that. By the way, we're not making light of his death. That was tragic, but what a crazy story.
I mean, that was on him. Retard.
Yeah, it is what it is, right? We're not gonna make fun of it though.
No, because he's got a wife and kid. And
yeah.
Well,
had.
He did have.
Had.
Who knows? I mean, I just don't. What drives you to go through with your dick out? Like that's like.
The car
could you imagine?
the car drove him.
Could you imagine going through Dunkin' Donuts drive-through with your cock out this morning?
No, because it was cold as shit.
Right, it's freezing. That's why this shit only happens in Arizona.
Exactly. So, folks, yeah, don't do that. Don't go through a drive-through with your pants down.
Yeah, don't rock out with your cock out looking for coffee.
Or if you do so with a tinted window.